In Portland, Oregon, controversy over a kiss. This week, the local transit agency is apologizing after two 14-year-old girls were kicked off a city bus for kissing each other. The agency saying the bus driver was wrong to take action and that he will be disciplined. He apparently acted after another passenger complained about that kissing. Right now, I want to bring in Rhonda Zazula, the mother of one of those two teens. Rhonda, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to know exactly what happened as you understand it.
As I understand it, the girls got on the bus with a 12-year-old passenger and sat at the back of the bus with each other. They were talking and kissing and hugging and holding hands, and an older passenger got up to complain to the driver about their behavior. The driver walked back to the bus, hit one of their feet and told them to get their feet off of his seat, told them knock it off, and when they separated from each other told them, "You girls are disgusting," and then turned around, called them sickos, and walked back to drive the bus. The girls separated from each other and were kind of afraid to speak, so they started writing notes back and forth to each other, and when one of them wrote that she was going to start crying, the other one reached over to hug her to comfort her, and that's when the driver stopped the bus, pulled over to the side of the road, and told them to get off my bus.
So, do you believe your daughter was discriminated against because of her sexual orientation?
It's hard for me to get inside of the head of the driver, but I'm told that the driver has driven for 11 years, and I'm also told that no one's been able to find another case of someone being kicked off the bus for kissing. So the natural conclusion that I come to is because the driver and the passenger were uncomfortable that they were girls.
And are you satisfied with the transit agency's apology, or are you considering some legal action here?
You know, honestly, we think that a lawsuit in this case would cheapen our argument, so we've been against filing a lawsuit pretty much from the get-go. Our point was to try to get TriMet's attention and to call the other drivers' attention that it's not right to impose your morals on children in a public setting when you're an employee.
And this bus driver apparently acted after another passenger had complained. Can you at all understand why a passenger would feel uncomfortable about two young people, two young girls, merely 14 years old, openly engaged in this kind of activity? And in that sense, is there another side to this story?
I can understand how the other passenger was uncomfortable, and the girls can too. Unfortunately, in prior interviews that they've done, they've apologized for making that mistake and that error in judgment. From a 14-year-old's perspective, however, they were sitting in the back of the bus with no one around them. They had a false sense of privacy in that, and the adult passenger who complained was sitting about 5 rows from them, literally had to turn her head to watch them. So do I understand her being uncomfortable? I do, and I think that the driver could have approached it in a more responsible way. I think that he could have asked them to stop because they were making passengers uncomfortable, and knowing those girls, I know that they would have responded by stopping.
And, knowing those girls, you mean, are you aware of your daughter's sexual orientation?
I am.
And have you had to counsel her before as to the difficulties she may encounter being out in public and being expressive with her feelings that way?
We have. When she first came out, one of our fears was for her safety and how other people might react to her. And children often don't listen to their parents when they caution them. They think that they're kind of above that and that their parents don't understand the world and what's going on. And these girls do live in Portland, Oregon, where it is fairly commonplace to have an alternative lifestyle. So I think they had a false sense of security. Not only that, but they were on a public bus. I don't think that any of us ever dreamed that it would be a public employee who would be the first one to discriminate against them.
All right. It is an interesting story. We thank you for sharing very much. Rhonda Zazula. Appreciate it. Let's get some more now on that massive search that is going on in Ohio for missing 26-year-old mother.